And Rob, the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending world champions, they've won 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. And their best defensive player now, coming off his best season of his career, arguably, first team All-Pro, defensive tackle, top 10 player according to the NFL.com's player poll. Chris Jones wants a contract extension, and he wants it now. He's got 1 year left on his deal, and he is holding out of training camp because he wants Aaron Donald type money. And obviously Aaron Donald has been the king of the defensive line for, past decade. And he's the highest paid guy, $31.6 million a year. Quinnen Williams is now second, way behind at $24 million a year. 4 years, $96 million deal he just did with the Jets. And my guess is the Chiefs want Chris Jones to settle somewhere within there, but I think he wants Aaron Donald money or more. And so he's sitting out. And Brett Veach, the GM, has said, Rob, they are not trading him. He said, this isn't Tyreek Hill. Well, we traded Tyreek. We couldn't match his price or didn't want to match his price. And we're not trading Chris Jones. And he even said that when they traded Tyreek, part of it was because they knew Chris Jones' deal was about to come up and they were going to have to do something with him. My thing is this, Rob, and you and I have disagreed. I don't mind if a quarterback wants to take a little less money than he could get to help other players get more money and keep them on the team, other great players, so they can win more. But what we are seeing with the Kansas City Chiefs is when Patrick Mahomes gave them a team-friendly deal, signed for, 12 years? 10 years, 12 years? So that they could be flexible with this contract and give more money to other key players to keep them. Travis Kelce is making less than he could get elsewhere. And they are both doing it because they want to win. And how in the world, Tyreek is gone. All right, they won without him. You're not winning, I don't think, without Chris Jones. So where is the money? And Rob, I am with you in that if the owners aren't going to give the other players the money that a Mahomes and a Kelce in this man, but mainly Mahomes, have given up, have left on the table, then don't leave the money on the table.
So you've come around because you're just seeing that they're not. I'm just saying.
I'm not like you got to get every last penny. I'm with Mahomes' mentality, but I'm saying it seems like they may be taking advantage of him.
And that's the way you have to look at it, Chris. And that's my issue. There's a couple things on why I'm against it. A, it doesn't seem to trickle down to the other players. So you sounds good. Oh yeah, well we got money left over so we could keep our players and we could keep it together and we can win. Then you have the other problem, Chris, of a bad general manager who might mismanage the money that you're giving up, right? And then the other part is maybe the owner wants to pocket it and say, don't spend it. You know what I mean? Right. We got Mahomes at a discount. Are you kidding? I'm not spending that. I'm putting that in my pocket. Those are the issues. And I don't think that that's a player's job, right? They tell you, just play. Don't worry about the other stuff. Oh, unless it's money. Then they want you to be a de facto GM because there's money involved. But if you were to go and say, hire this coach or get this player, Chris, they tell you to worry about what you're doing, right? You're not the GM. You're not ownership. Worry about playing. And the Tom Brady thing, and we've talked about this before, with just what the Patriots did during those years when Tom was taking less, Chris, is according to the Boston Globe, this is not Robopedia, okay? This is the Boston Globe. New England only spent more than the NFL average once in Tom Brady's last 7 seasons. That was 2019 with the team. They also spent below the league average in 7 of his last 10 years, including in Super Bowl years 14, 16, 17, and 18. So the savings Brady gave them never actually reached other players. That's why it's a bad thing for players to do that, to give a team a hometown discount, to give them a team-friendly package. There's no reason. The thing is set up for the way, and if you're not going to guarantee me, unless you put it in writing, Chris, that if you don't spend this extra $40 million, then it goes back to me and you pay it down the road in deferred payments if it's not spent. If we're not at the league average or above, then I want that money back because the agents need to get on this. This is ridiculous for players to have to give up money for nothing.
Totally agree. And I love that idea of you can put a clause in your contract. Patrick Mahomes has, and I don't want to make him out to seem like an angel, but he has pure intentions in this situation. He is saying, I am going to leave some money on the table. I'm going to leave you. Rob G, fine. What is Mahomes now? The 7th highest paid quarterback, and we get the way it
dropping,
works.
Right. It just
when guys come up, they're going to make more money. But there's no doubt he left some money on the table. And he did it because he wants to win, which I love. He did it because he wanted other teammates to be able to get more money so they could stay on the team and win Super Bowls. That's great. But it seems like he should have, and Rob, like you said, you need to have a clause in there. If we don't spend the money I'm leaving on the table, then that money comes to me. Simple as that. Simple as that. And that's where I don't like these teams taking advantage of the players. And Rob, when Brady was in his last year with New England, I was saying he clearly can't carry mediocre skilled position players like he used to. He did it for years. They won a lot of Super Bowls, obviously, but now he can't do it. And I was saying what New England should do rather than let him walk, go out and upgrade the skill position.
Right. That was what should have happened, and especially with the money that they saved over those years. They had money, Chris. And New England is famous. Ty Law. There's about Rob G. You probably could get a list of 10 players who contributed to those Super Bowls who were shown the door and never got paid
prematurely.
Right.
That's why, and I don't agree with this, but a lot of people are saying, they could fire if they don't play well this year, that they should fire Belichick. And part of it is that, hey, Belichick was showing everybody the door. When their time was up, even though it seemed premature in a lot of cases, he didn't worry about, they had contributed to this Super Bowl and that Super Bowl. He just got rid of them.
Can you imagine being, Chris, like a Ty Law and those guys up there in New England, and it's all about Brady, which is fine because that's the quarterback gets all the glory, but they never got paid. Do you know what I mean? In New England, they were they never got their payday. And in the NFL, I think that's a shame because you give of yourself more than any other sport, Chris. You give of yourself, and you're going to be reminded almost every day when you wake up and get out of that bed what you put yourself through.
Well, and the thing, too, is, and look, obviously the higher paid guys are making money that, is just almost beyond spendable, But these guys are done playing in their mid to late 30s.
They got a long way to go, Chris.
They got a long way. And
you look at try to find out why all these guys got podcasts and trying to get in the media. It's because they need jobs. Don't kid yourself.
Some of these dudes need money,
They need jobs.
If a running back makes $10 million for his career, and I'm not talking about, obviously, Saquon's getting that for this one season, but let's say a good running back, not awesome, but good, people know his name, he makes $10 million for his career, the way things are going now. That's got to hold him. Remember, that's $5 million, $6 million with taxes, whatever. And then he's spending as he's playing. That's got to hold him the rest of his life, him and his family. And so, like you said, Rob, a lot of these guys, they're working because they want to keep making more money or need to make more money. So that's why they need to get paid. Mahomes obviously is set financially, even though he's taking less, but I don't like to see him being taken advantage of, if indeed that's the case. And Rob, these franchises are appreciating like crazy.
Chris, the owners aren't on. They're making money, and they're not taking. They're not saying, "Hey, you know what, fans? I'm making so much money. Let me give you a discount on your tickets. I'll give you a hometown discount, Chris, on season tickets. Or I'll give you a hometown discount so you're not paying $17 for a beer." Chris, I know you don't drink beer like that, and I don't either. But the guys I know, when they go to ball games, a beer is $17, Chris.
It's ridiculous.
$17 for a beer.
Ludicrous. That's just taking advantage of the people.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying they shouldn't do with the players. Right. That's what they're doing. They know you can't leave the stadium. You can't leave,
right? Exactly. And you want a beer while you're watching the game and wash down a couple of dogs, right? So what's your option? You have none.